Michael Patrick Shields all across the state of Michigan on the day before the Kentucky Derby. Robert Shields is headed to Louisville. Churchill Downs there, that twin-spired track that so many people have on their bucket list for that race tomorrow morning. And in fact, I'll be with Bob Moore tonight in Ponte Vedra, Florida at PGA Tour headquarters. I'm going down for the World Golf Hall of Fame induction. So the Flying Shields brothers are doing pretty good. The World Golf Hall of Fame and the Kentucky Derby. What's your plan? Robert Shields is my brother, by the way. He's the chief meteorologist at CBS in Toledo. What's your Louisville plan? What will you be doing?
Well, the problem is that being the May ratings book in television, I can never get this Friday night off. So I'm showing up at my buddy Big Glenn's house tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. We're hopping in the truck and on our way to Louisville.
Oh, boy. And so the race is until
Half-hour drive. Whew.
How far is it from Toledo?
About a 4.5-hour drive.
Oh, that isn't too bad. And then the race is until 6:24, but you have racing leading up to the Derby. And anything special that you'll be doing at the track as you wait for the race to start?
Well, we plan on spending most of our time in the paddock area, which is pretty cool because you can get near the horses. And, well, we're going to be seeing if we can find Glenn some work.
Some work?
Yeah.
Big Glenn from Toledo. What kind of work?
Well, Glenn has always had this dream to be a jockey.
Okay. Well, you know what? Big Glenn from Toledo is on the line with us, too, right now. Big Glenn, you've always dreamed of being a jockey, huh?
That is true.
How tall are you?
About 6'4".
6'4". And how much do you weigh?
I'm a little on the heavier side. I go about almost 400.
Almost 400? You
400 pounds.
You weigh more than the horse. You can't be the jockey. So you're going to go to Churchill Downs hoping to get some work at 6'4", plus 300 pounds. You know, these jockeys, they look almost like they're little statues. They're usually around 100 pounds, aren't they, these little guys?
Yeah, it kind of looks like that way on TV, but, I think I have a lot to offer. I believe I'm going to be pretty fast, so I'm just looking for some opportunity.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but TV adds 15 pounds, so if those jockeys look small on TV in person, they must be extremely diminutive. But I wish you luck. This is going to be your first trip to Churchill Downs. What are you expecting to see and do? Has it always been on your bucket list?
Yeah, I kind of have. It's always been on my bucket list to do this, and Robert came to me with this idea probably about a month and a half ago, and I'm like, you know what, I'll see what we can do, and, I'm going to get my full jockey uniform, and I'm going to go down there and look for a ride, see what happens.
You're going to be walking around Churchill Downs at 6'4" in a jockey, in the jockey silks. That ought to turn some heads, I'm sure about that. And I hope you'll have a mint julep or two to help pass the time. You're going to be the biggest jockey in the history of the world.
That's it. I'm good with that. Hopefully I can get a ride.
If you're in Louisville and you see Big Glenn and Robert, you'll know. Well, you might not recognize Robert Shields unless you're from Toledo, but you'll certainly recognize Big Glenn, who's more than 300 pounds and 6'4", and will be dressed as a jockey at Louisville. We salute you, sir. That's a great idea.
Thank you.
All the best to Big Glenn as they're on their way to Churchill Downs. Bill Ballinger, the founder of Inside Michigan Politics and publisher of SAME, was once the racing commissioner in the state of Michigan, and I think he always enjoys this weekend, and we always enjoy talking to him. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it looks like it's going to be kind of a wide-open Derby. Do you still enjoy watching on TV?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No question. It's to me, still the most exciting 2 minutes in sport.
Well, you know what? It's exciting for even the people who don't know anything about horse racing to sit down and watch it, because Dave Johnson, for all those years, had the great call for ABC. Now it's on NBC, and it's a little bit different. But here's Dave Johnson's stretch call when everyone gets their adrenaline flying.
And down the stretch they come in the Kentucky Derby.
I mean, if that can't get you excited, nothing can, right?
Yeah, well, you probably heard that Tom Durkin, the guy who's been calling the race here for the last several years, has quit this year just under stress. He says, I can't take it anymore. I'm not going to do it.
You know, I did hear that. It was an amazing story that he was the guy who called the race, and he would be so stressed that he wanted to get it perfect that he had to see psychiatrists, and he was a mess, and he was laying.
He had nightmares at night. He had one nightmare where the Queen Mary ship was floating down the stretch, and he couldn't see the horses. He said for 3 months the tension built. to such a point that he just couldn't take it anymore.
And the performance anxiety. You know what he did say too? I saw that he doesn't mind calling any other race. That's fine. It's just that the Derby is so important. He wanted to get it so perfect that it drove
Right.
him to madness.
Right, and remember 2 years ago, he had kind of a bad experience. Remember, that was the year that Mine That Bird, that incredible long shot, came from behind
And he
and
missed it.
won the race, and he kind of missed it. He blew it
Yeah.
until the very end, and I think maybe that really was the coup de grace. He lasted another year, but I think he decided, you know, there may be another Mine That Bird in the field this year, and I just can't take it.
That's how I feel every single morning before I go on the air. I'm neurotic to no end. Let me ask you, in the last minute and a half that we have here, Pinnacle Race Course has given it up. They're not going to open this year. That was our only thoroughbred track left in Michigan. Just
Right.
can't seem to sustain it anymore, huh?
Well, it's a terrible situation. I mean, it was bad enough when you got the lottery in 1972. That really hurt racing. And then the rise of casinos, not just the three in Detroit, but obviously the Indian casinos all over the state. We have more gambling venues in the state of Michigan than any other jurisdiction in North America, more than Nevada, more than New Jersey. It's just impossible for racing to compete unless there's some things at the track like slots or keno or something that they can use as a supplement to live racing. And because of a constitutional ballot issue we had here in 2004 that was decided against that sort of activity, racing just cannot get that from the legislature in the state. And without it, I just don't think it can really survive here.
It's too bad because it's such a pageant to go to the track and stand outside and see those beautiful, powerful animals. Bill
Right.
Rollinger. Enjoy the Derby, the Run for the Roses.